Hello, Capricorn Rising. Welcome to your February 2021 Astrology and Tarot reading. My name is TESA, and you're watching my channel. I do have a couple of announcements before I get started. I'm working on a website, TESATABOO.com. I've been working on it for the last couple of weeks, and I'm pretty much finished. I have everything done except for the blog portion. I actually have the first post for the blog portion, which is the February tarot scope for all the zodiac signs. But the way that this specific website has their domains laid out, the way that they do blog layout is a little bit confusing. So I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of how to run the blog and keep the blog going in the smoothest possible way. So just kind of last minute things like that. But I'm really hoping I'm going to figure it out and get it finished before February. Also, I'm wearing my Pink Floyd t-shirt, which I got from Amazon. And I just felt like it was really appropriate for these February readings just because I've been very like, how do I explain this? I don't want to say I've been in my feels, but I've just had a lot of this, there's been a lot of this kind of like subconscious energy, unconscious energy that has been wanting to push itself out in reference to everything that's just kind of like going on in the world right now, especially in the United States. This Aquarius energy, we have really, really high, intense, potent Aquarius energy going on right now, and I'll get into that in a little bit. As we kind of see happening in the world, like things are needing to come out into the open, truth is needing to be spoken. The truth of our inner demons, of our inner emotions. Like there's the darker sides of humanity, the darker sides of our consciousness, the darker sides of our humanity are needing to kind of like come out and into the light. Okay, and we do see this. This started last year when Saturn first went into Aquarius, and now it is officially in Aquarius until 2024. And the energy is just kind of pushing itself out, okay, the shadow. So I am here, TESA Taboo. I'm here to integrate the shadow. Shadow work is super important. My channel is not just like about beautiful things and love and everything. To experience life with all the different aspects of being human, you need to accept the different sides of you without being afraid to express it. The more we repress our emotions, the more we push our emotions down, the more we keep them hidden, we literally turn into robots, okay? And that is something that this country has been like pushing and has been trying to create this whole illusion that, I don't know, we're all the same, and we're not the same, we're different. And those differences, unfortunately, is what is causing chaos, and it doesn't need to be that way. We can be different. We can have our own opinions. We can have our own perspectives and still coexist. That's the whole idea. That's the way. So I've just been like super frustrated because like I watch the news because I want to be aware of what's going on, but at the same time I already know like I'm an independent, I don't attribute myself to any party, but as far as the political spectrum is concerned, I just get very frustrated with how easily people are manipulated and how easily things can, and how quickly things can go down the path that is literal self-destruction, and the path of, people think that they're going down the path of enlightenment and spirituality by like pretending like everything is okay, or by acting like, I don't know, we're all here to just get along, and like we have to be happy in order to coexist, and that's not That's not true at all. We can have different opinions and different perspectives and still coexist. And there's a huge issue with that right now, like humongous issue with having different opinions and different perspectives and not being able to coexist, like literally being fearful of your life just for having a different opinion. So that's not good. That is the path of destruction. That is going to completely decimate humanity if we keep going down that road. So I'm here to do shadow work. Shadow work is really about accepting the different, facets of yourself, not pretending to be anything but what you are, getting in touch with your authentic self, not living in the illusion. Unfortunately, our political ideals has been a means to an end for so long in America. America has been fueling the fire for these political ideals where people live within them and believe in them as a means to an end, and that is not the case. Politics is a game, just like a basketball game, just like a concert. It's a debate. Politics should be a debate. It should not be a means to an end, and create like this false structure of belief. Okay, it's turning into these like structures of belief where people are like ride or die, and that's insane. That's insane. So yeah. Shadow work. So that's why I'm wearing Freud. Freud was actually kind of a big critic of America, which I thought was really interesting. He has a lot of really interesting things to say. I think that America needs to get stronger. We need to get stronger emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. Okay, we need to toughen the fuck up and stop being such little babies about everything. And that is the truth. Okay, that is what I think. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, so that's why I'm rocking my Pink Floyd shirt. I used to study psychology. I'm super into the unconscious, subconscious energies that we don't know how to integrate into society, what we are the most driven by, our instincts, our drives, our the primitive side of ourselves. Okay, we're seeing a lot of that primitive kind of energy come out. When that side of ourselves is easily triggered, that is a sign that that side of ourselves is not integrated. It is not fully comprehended and understood by people, and it continues to trigger. Okay, once that primitive side comes out, it triggers other people, and then their primitive side comes out. So, gotta get to know the primitive. Okay, so that is my little introductory spiel. I'm going to get into your astrological chart based on your Capricorn ascendant sign. We're going to get into the energies, the planetary transits currently in effect, and then I'm going to get into oracle and tarot reading, and we're going to see how the cards relate to your chart and see what energies are going on there. So biggest energies, like I said, is Aquarius energy. So we have Sun in Aquarius, we have Mercury in Aquarius, Venus is going to be in Aquarius February 1st. We're going to have a new moon in Aquarius on February 11th, and February 11th is kind of a big day, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then, of course, we have the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius as well. Jupiter is slowly but surely moving further away from Saturn, but it's technically still conjunct. So on February 11th, we're going to have 6 different astrological planets in the sign of Aquarius, and that is transiting your second house. The second house symbolizes personal values, possessions, and just like overall financial stability. Okay. What is it that is consistently valuable in your life? So there is a lot of, because Aquarius is in this area of your life, as far as like what you find valuable, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like there are some really you could be feeling like inspired. Your mind, there's probably a lot of mental activity in regards to your values. There's a lot of like thinking in broader terms, and like you're thinking a little bit more outside the box. You're thinking a little bit more globally. You're thinking more in different perspectives and in creative, innovative kind of ideas in terms of how to continue down the path of stability, how to keep yourself financially secure, how to keep yourself on this momentum where you have regular funds coming in order to you know, be stable and secure and things like that. The other big energies is going to be Mars in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus. So this is the other big planetary transits that are in effect right now, and they are conjunct. So Mars is going to be the planet of drive, instinct, aggression, anger, war. Uranus, planet of revolution. Some similarities there with Mars as far as just like the war aspect of it, but revolution, innovation, reform. And then Taurus, of course, is the sign of personal possessions, values, things like that. So this is, excuse me, this is in your 5th house. Natural ruler of the fifth house is Leo and the sun. So this is the area of your life where like romance, and where you want to have fun with your friends, or where you just want to have fun and like enjoy the innocent part of life. Just, you know, that innocence, fun. It's about, the 5th house is about children. It's about creativity. It's about kind of enjoying like the fruits of your labor, enjoying the vitality of life and the joys of life and the things that bring happiness, like children, like romance, you know, those. The 5th house represents kind of the beginning of a relationship. Okay. So there could be definitely some unexpected shifts and changes in regards to, you know, if you're in a romantic relationship, there could be some sudden shifts, or you could be contemplating if you want to have kids or not, or you could want to take action for the future, like you're really trying to reinvent how you want to create a stable life for yourself, so you could enjoy the fun part in the future. You know, maybe right at this moment in time, you have to kind of sacrifice some of that like fun aspect in order to focus more on just creating stability, so that you can have something for the future. If you do decide to like have kids, or if you do decide to start like a creative project, like maybe you do have an idea for a business or a creative project, but you're not really quite there as far as beginning that project right now. But you're like thinking about it, you know, it could just kind of be these like ideas that are going on in your head. Okay, so the other big energy that we have going on, it's more of an underlying energy. It's not as noticeable as the other ones. Neptune in Pisces. Neptune has been in Pisces for a long time now already. I'm sorry I don't have the date of when it went into Pisces, but it's going to be in Pisces for another like 9 or 10 years, I believe. And this is a general undercurrent of energy that we are all connected to. Neptune is in its home sign. These two energies are compatible. Neptune and Pisces are complementing each other here. It's like a stream of consciousness. It's that divine stream. Excuse me, I just had dinner. It's that divine stream of reflection that passes under the bridge. Okay. It's that divine, spiritual, creative, boundless, limitless pool of creativity and expression and emotion that just flows through. So this is flowing through all of humanity right now. This is a current that is just pushing us forward in the direction that we need to go, and we are all capable of tapping into it. This is the bridge that is going to bring people together. This is the energy that is going to be able to have a person who's on this side of the spectrum and a person who's on this side of the spectrum, people who have completely different opinions, who come from completely different backgrounds, and they find a way to connect. You know, the water starts to like blur so here's like person one and here's person two. Okay, they're not touching right now. The water allows, like, when you have a stream, like a river that's going down like a little like valley or something like that, and then you have one person on one side, another person on the other side, but then when they both come into the water, they're both joined in the water, and there's no boundaries anymore. It's just water. Okay, so the line starts to get blurred. Okay, the lines start to get blurred as far as, like, you know, what our differences are, like what makes us different, and then we start to connect as two people who can find common ground in something creative, like a creative project, maybe coming together to form a band, like musicians, you know, or art. And I really think of Pisces and Neptunian energy as very, very artistic. This is about art. It's about culture. It's about music. So these are the things that are going to bring us together, okay? And this is the underlying energy that is happening. And it's everybody has this, you know. So this is taking place in your third house, and the third house is all about close friendship, short distance travel. So this is, you know, so you probably already feel like you probably already relate to people in a way where the lines are blurred, where you don't think about like where they come from. You don't think about their opinions versus your opinions. You just have fun together. You enjoy each other's company based on, you know, the creative work that you do or the job that you're doing right now. Okay, so then for the other big energy, we have Pluto in Capricorn in your first house of self, identity, ego. Pluto is the planet of transformation, death, rebirth, sex, power. Capricorn, of course, as we know, is the sign of hard work, career success, social status. So just like big changes, you're probably just feeling a big transformation within your own self. There's a lot of things that are changing within you. There's a lot of things changing in the world, and you're really seeing how this is affecting your everyday, just kind of like work, you know, how you know, it's very important for you that you work hard, you know, even at yourself. So you're probably just have a lot of pressure. You're just feeling, you're kind of feeling these changes going on within yourself. You don't have to put so much pressure on yourself, though. You can kind of like let it ride out and not put so much pressure. But you probably from time to time do feel a kind of heaviness and do feel maybe a little overwhelmed with it all. And just like how much sometimes that energy can kind of knock you down. Okay. But I mean, it's like you get back up, maybe it'll knock you down, and then you'll just get back up and keep going again. But I think you do understand that you're on a different kind of rhythm, you know, you're riding maybe like a different kind of wave than what you're used to. Okay, like you can feel the energy shifting. Okay, so those are the bigger energies, and then we do have a full moon in Virgo happening on the 27th of February, and that's in your 9th house of long distance travel, higher learning, philosophy. So maybe towards the end of the month, you could start to have some new ideals about, you know, how you think things should be, and wanting to work really hard at the details in order to just kind of like maybe perfect your higher self, you know, your higher mind. Okay, we have making a choice. Okay, so there's some kind of decision that you might have to make. Instantly, I immediately felt your 5th house with this card. The 5th house, remember, is the card of like having fun and just like the joys and the vitality, like, you know, children, romance, things like that. So there might be a decision that you have to make in February in regards to maybe your romantic life, or, you know, like maybe just like how often you want to go out and have fun. or it could be in regards to a creative project, but it looks like there is some kind of decision that you are needing to make. Education, definitely thought of the ninth house. You just need some more information. You need to get in touch with your higher mind, for this, okay? So maybe like, I think that this is gonna happen maybe like throughout February, but by the end of February, I think you're really going to start to look at something closer, and you're going to start to teach yourself something. You're going to want to gain a higher perspective when it comes to this choice that you're making, whether it's in regards to some creative project or a romance that you're involved in, or like having children. Maybe for some of you it has to do with that, but I think that for the most part it has to do with either a creative project or a romantic situation that you're in. And then into the unknown. Okay, so this is just kind of like understanding that you can't really know everything right now, and being able to make a decision based on your intuition. It's really just making a decision based on your intuition without having all the information, trusting your higher mind, okay? Like you can, you can study as much as you want. You can read like a bunch of books, but it's impossible to read like all the books. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point you have to just make a choice. At some point you have to just be like, okay, I've accumulated enough information. This is good enough. This is enough information in order for me to make a decision. And then you just use your intuition and you go with what your gut tells you. Okay, that one wanted to fly out. So we have the moon. I believe Aquarius got this too. I love this card. And I'm going to explain it in a second because it really, really illuminates the idea of illusion and your own spiritual soul really, really good here. So I'll kind of like talk about that in a second. So this is Pisces energy. This is very much related to this third house energy. I mean, we could talk about, the moon placements, but I definitely see this more because the moon represents Pisces in tarot. Even though Cancer rules the moon, in tarot, the moon is represented by Pisces, and the Chariot is Cancer. Okay, so that Pisces energy is in your third house. Okay, so this is about I feel like this is about not forgetting about your own reflection, not getting so caught up in the illusion. Okay, so most people would think that this moon, this big moon over here, is reality. And this down here is the illusion, but that's not the case. That's not the case. So this girl, she's crossing over this bridge, okay? And she's looking at the moon. And the moon is like projecting itself onto her, okay? The moon is projecting this illusion. And she's seeing it. And she's saying, oh, that's the moon. But the moon is just projecting this illusion of itself. But she thinks that this is like reality. But in actuality, it's her reflection that is reality. It's like, it's the reflection of the moon that allows us to perceive the moon for what we think it is. Does that make sense? Okay. So, like all natural, everything in life, all natural elements, people, places, things, everything, it projects an image. It imprints itself. There's an energy that it imprints onto us. And it comes into our subconscious, and we formulate an opinion or a perspective or a vision about that thing that was projected to us. Like when you travel, when you go to a different country, the energy of that city or that country kind of like projects this certain kind of illusion onto us, and we have a very specific experience, and then we go home and we think that this specific experience that we had is like what that is. Like, oh, this city is amazing because I experienced this and this and this. But it's a personal experience. It's subjective. It's not reality. Like, I'm not saying that it is or it isn't reality. It's just it's coming to terms, coming to understand the fact that your perception of things is a reflection. It's like it's a projection of what is being given to you. Okay, so with this in your third house, I think it's just kind of like, you're able to connect with other people. You're able to connect with other human beings, and you guys are there's this natural ability to just kind of like coexist and co-create. But it's also just kind of like telling you, like, don't forget about the reflection. Don't forget about the things that you feel when you go home at night. When you go home and you lay in your bed, how do you reflect on your day? Like after you spend time with these people that you spend time with, how do you reflect on that later? How do you get to know yourself intimately without the, like, perceived projections that they give you? You know what I mean? Like, are you just riding within their illusion? I don't know if that's making sense. Are you living in their illusion? Are they living in your illusion? Do you like know yourself on a more intimate level? Do you know what you really think and what you really feel about something? Kind of like that. Okay, High Priestess. This is so interesting. So the High Priestess, so the moon in tarot major arcana represents Pisces. The High Priestess represents the moon. So this is so interesting. Yeah, so it's like, I feel like, I don't know, Capricorn, like you could be actually getting a lot of spiritual information coming your way this month. Like a lot. Okay, just a lot of your intuition is really like the divine spirit, the universe really wants you to tap into your intuition. It really wants you to educate yourself about your higher mind, about your spirituality, about to get to know yourself in a very intimate level, to understand yourself in deeper ways and higher ways. And with this High Priestess energy, like towards the end of the month, it could really start to get triggered in like with a lot of mental activity. It might start to really get triggered, and maybe you'll have some epiphanies about the future, or just some epiphanies about yourself and what you think about things, okay? Okay, so Ace of Wands, this is very creative, inspirational energy, and this does represent a new beginning. So it looks like you're going to make a choice. So whatever decision this is that you need to make in regards to a creative project or a romance or something that is being guided by inspiration and passion, that decision is going to be made as soon as you accept this intuition. And what it's trying to tell you, as soon as you start listening to your higher mind and your instincts. And then there's going to be a new beginning. There's going to be a new beginning in your area of like passion and creativity. Eight of Swords, this is Jupiter in Gemini energy. This is an entrapment of the mind. And this is taking place in your 6th house of daily routine. So just be careful not to get too stuck in your head, not to overthink things, because I definitely see you maybe like going throughout your day at some point, just like overthinking things, getting a little stuck in your head, starting to have anxiety about this decision you make. This is after you make the decision. So once you make this choice to do this, you, or not to do it. I think that you make a choice to do something, and then you start to have some anxiety about it because you realize that you have to get into the details of it on a daily basis. Yeah, so it looks like there's just some mental activity that makes you feel like you've just kind of put yourself in a trap. But then we have the Ace of Coins, which is earth energy, and this earth energy is traveling through your first house, your fifth house, and your ninth house. So just like a new beginning in money matters, which could be related to the project. Also, the thing that's related to this new beginning, it has to do with it could have to do with like a family member. It could have to do with something regarding your home, or your childhood, or a family member, or someone like a deeper intimate connection. Okay, so there is a new beginning in money. So either there's some new money coming in, or you decide to make an investment in something. Wow. This is crazy. And then we have the Ace of Swords, another ace. That's 3 aces. So that is like that's kind of like, okay, like you're really on a path here. I wanted to be like, you're on a war path. Like you are super determined to go after something. Okay, and then this is in your second house, your sixth house, and your 10th house. So definitely related to money and work and career and things like that. Definitely taking action, communicating. If you are starting some kind of business, this is like communication, getting it out there, going with this new beginning, like it's nobody's business. Yeah, 10 of Coins. So whatever business or creative project this was, if you are in a relationship, you're definitely ready to step things up. But I see this more as like an independent kind of energy, this 10 of Coins, where you're just like, I am going to manifest my abundance. I am going to get what I want. I'm going to create the life that I want. And you're working really, really hard towards that with this 10 of Coins energy. This is Virgo energies, and this is in your 9th house. I knew that this was related to these moon cards because we have the full moon in Virgo at the end of the month. This is a Virgo card, and this is all about higher learning. So like I'm telling you, just get in touch with your deeper intuition, with your instincts. Teach yourself, get in touch with your higher mind, and it is going to guide you in a very spiritual kind of way. It is going to, and in a very like intellectual higher mind kind of way, it's going to guide you towards your abundance. It's going to guide you towards your fortune, towards your legacy, okay? Yeah, so this is your reading, Capricorn, for February 2021. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.